The sermon today by Reverend Margo Rinehart is creating intentions rather than resolutions. And I'm very sorry that Margo is not here to deliver it herself, but I'm also very grateful that I get to do it because I got to practice and read it and really give it a lot of thought before I came to you today. It's really good. So, when considering the new year, it was my intention to deliver a practical message to you this morning based on the work of James Clear, speaker and author of Atomic Power. He calls his book Atomic Power because he uses atoms as a metaphor for how we build habits in our lives that can, if we choose the right habits, result in long-term behavior change, values change, and identity change. Those are three key concepts in this sermon: behavior, values, and identity. You can also substitute principles for values if that makes more sense to you. James Clear calls us to recognize that atoms are the small but mighty pieces that build everything around us. They are a source of immense energy and power. Clear spreads his message working for Fortune 500 companies and professional sports teams and with normal people, just like us. One of my favorite takeaways from his work is, you do not rise to the level of your goals, rather you fall to the level of your systems. And if you don't like that one, there is, the heaviest lift you have at the gym is the front door. My son will tell you it's the front door of your own house. And while he's right about the gym door and our systems needing to support our personal growth or goals, for us, I was looking for something more grounded in our Unitarian Universalist values of compassion, equity, and interconnectedness. Therefore, this morning, I want to talk about intention versus goals. As explained in one of our readings, intention is not oriented toward a future outcome. Instead, it is a path or practice that is focused on how you are being in the present moment. You set your intentions based on understanding what matters most to you, and then you make a commitment to align your worldly actions with your inner values. Let's start with talking about how intentions and goals are different. A goal is an outcome. I want to run a 5K. I want to organize my house so that I can be in less chaos when I'm trying to get things done. Or I want to oust some people out of certain political offices. Oops, I digress. My annual goals used to always be lose 10 pounds and do at least 3 cardio workouts a week so that I can have a good cardiovascular health. Over the past decade, I added on being more politically active in ways that forward the ideals of compassion, equity, and justice. Those are different than my spiritual identity in that they are goals, they are outcomes. Whereas intentions are a way of life, and as Unitarian Universalists, they are grounded in our values and principles. Intention aligns our worldly actions with our innermost values. I'd like to share the work of Buddhist Philip Moffitt, who informs us that intentions are about a way of living each moment to moment. He downplays goals as they are limiting and can cause distractions. It's not that goals are bad, rather they steal from living in the now. He says, with goals, the future is always the focus. Are you going to reach the goal? Will you be happy when you do? What's next? Setting intention, at least according to Buddhist teaching, is quite different than goal making. It is not oriented toward a future outcome. Instead, it is a path or practice that is focused on how you are being in the present moment. Your attention is on the ever-present now in the constantly changing flow of life. You set your intentions based on understanding what matters most to you and make a commitment to align your worldly actions with your inner values. Goals help you make your place in the world and be an effective person, But being grounded in intention is what provides integrity and unity in your life. What would it be like if you didn't measure the success of your life just by what you get and don't get, but gave equal or greater priority to how aligned you are with your deepest values? Now, let's talk about how to change our thinking from goals to intentions. In my case, my intention is to live a healthy lifestyle that more fully supports my physical, emotional, and spiritual health. It changes from a finite future goal and instead opens the door to a process of practices. And note what is missing. With goals, we get to chastise ourselves harshly when we don't meet them. With intentions, we return to our good practices and begin again with self-love. We just renew and readjust. There is no need for self-flagellation, believe it or not. I'm not bad because I didn't get to the gym 3 times a week or didn't engage in 30 minutes of meditation and gratitude practice every morning, or I didn't knock on 200 doors to ask people to recall a certain school board member. I speak hypothetically, of course, on that last one. When we are grounded in our intentions, they will provide integrity and unity for our daily actions. They will take the focus off an outcome and let you live in the moment with your values, interconnectedness, kindness, compassion, equity. Paradoxically, when we focus more in the moment, we are more effective in the long run. Our intentions start becoming the bedrock of our lives, comforting touchstones. They also move us toward developing the routines and practices we need, and when performed regularly, they will eventually become automatic responses. At this point, I want to go full circle back to our secular sage, James Clear, and what he writes about atomic habits. Remember, they are the small, mighty building blocks. Clear says that goals are not bad, they are just not our emphasis. I would say they are secondary. Clear emphasizes that it is our systems and habits that link our intentions to our actions in the world. Remember, he is also the guy who says we won't ever rise to the level of our goals. Rather, we will be held back or held up by the effectiveness of our systems. Where I think the brilliance truly lies in James Clear's work is his focus on identity and identity change. Here is where we draw on our Unitarian Universalist values to shape our identity. Outcome is about what we get in the end. Processes are about what we do, but identity is about our core beliefs. Identity is the level that is concerned with changing beliefs or renewing them, our worldview, our self-image, and judgments we make about ourselves and others. According to Clear, and many theologians, by the way, our beliefs, assumptions, and biases are found at the identity level. That is from where we decide to start or change habits based on who we see ourselves becoming. Again, where people often get stuck is in the outcome they want, the goal, the resolution. We may see the processes of getting there, but we seldom look at our belief systems. In Clear's book, he often uses the example of weight loss. He says people think, I want to be thin, which is an outcome, or I want to lose 20 pounds, the goal, or if I stick to this diet, I will weigh 20 pounds less, the process. For many, the issue may not be weight loss, rather to be less frustrated or picking up a new job or volunteer capacity. To be a more considerate spouse or parent. What James Clear would say to all of us is that there is one thing to say that you are a type of person who wants that, but it is another thing to say you are the person who is this. True behavior change comes from identity change. Don't say, I paint or knit or do woodwork as a hobby. Rather, I am an artist. I am a creative. I am a musician. Whether you are proud of the volunteer work you do, the care you provide for your family, the goods or crafts you create, the tasks you do here for UUFB and for one another, you will develop the habits you need to maintain those if your identity is part of those actions. When you tidy up your house each day, you embody the identity of an organized person. When you write or engage in a hobby, you embody the identity of a creative person. When you are engaged in work that supports our interconnectedness, you identify your identity as a compassionate person. When you support this congregation with your money and volunteer work, you are a loving person who values the welfare of the entire community. The other great thing is that the more you repeat the behaviors, the more you reinforce the identity. James Clear recommends a very simple two-step process. He says, keep the roots of the word identity, which is repeated beingness, in your mind. Step 1, decide the person you want to be. And step 2, prove it to yourself with small wins. What type of person are you going to be this year? Try a few of these on. I'm the kind of person who encourages others. I'm a leader. I'm a person who lives in ways that promote equity and justice. I'm a person who cares for my body and spirit. I am living a healthful life. I am the type of volunteer who cares about the stories of people I serve. I am a caring and compassionate person. I give money and time to UUFB. I'm a person who demonstrates my love for community through service. Who are you this morning? What is your deepest intention?